Great, so we can get started. So grab yourself a space to sit in to start off with. And if you want to sat up on your block or on your cushion, then go ahead and do that. And just make any movements that you need to make to help yourself come to a place of relative stillness. And then take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Take 2 more breaths like that. Starting to close the eyes or just lower the gaze down. And letting the shoulders soften away from the ears and letting the forehead and the jaw soften. And then with your next inhale, see if you can breathe into the side and the back of your ribs. And then exhale, draw the low ribs down and draw the low belly in towards the spine. Just a little bit, so some gentleness around that. Take another breath like that. Inhale, expand the sides and the back of the ribs, like you're trying to circumferentially fill your whole rib cage with your breath. And then exhale, draw the low ribs down, draw the low belly in. Again, breathing into the sides and the back of the ribs, really feeling for that. And it can be hard, so just doing whatever is accessible and available to you. And then exhale, draw the low ribs down, draw the low belly in. And see if you can keep breathing like that for a few more breaths. And as you do so, starting to drop out of the mental activity and drop into the feeling sense of whatever's present for you in your body this evening. And you might notice things physically, you might notice things energetically or emotionally that are coming up. And know that all of that is welcome in this space, in your space. And the aim of the practice is not to change it or fix it or do anything with it. It's more just to practice this moment to moment awareness. I say just, it's really hard to do that, but that's what we're aiming for in the practice. So bringing the attention back to the breath, and again, breathing into the sides and the back of the ribs. And breathing out, drawing the low ribs down and drawing the low belly in. And something that I'd like us to work with, or as an invitation to work with in your practice this evening, is to keep breathing deeply as I'm talking, is to work with the idea. So something came up for me today about needing to get it right. And I think there's something in yoga where we can transport this idea that we have from the rest of our lives, that we need to achieve something, or we need to get it right, or we need to do it a certain way, or we need to be perfect, or that we're not good enough if we can't do it in a certain way. And the invitation for your practice is to let go of those stories, because they are just that, just stories. And the invitation is therefore to feel what feels right for you. And so if it feels right to stay in a pose, stay in a pose. If it feels right to come out, come out. And aim to start to use this practice to really feel into what's relevant and useful for you and your body. So maybe that resonates for you, maybe it doesn't. But just seeing if you can tune into this idea that what you've got already today is enough. Breathing in again through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. We'll take a box breath. So I'll count in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, and hold for 4. And then I'll get you to do a couple on your own. So everyone exhale all of the way out. Breathe in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. And hold the breath out. 3, 2, 1. Breathing in. 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath in. 2, 1. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. 2, 1. Take 2 more like that with your own count. Just noticing how it feels to hold the breath in. Noticing how it feels to hold the deep breath out. Good. And then whenever you're done, letting the legs come out of your sitting position and just giving them a little bit of a shake. And then we'll come into a knee pile. So the right knee is on top. And you want ideally the knees to be stacked on top of each other with the feet alongside of the hips. If that isn't accessible for you, straighten out the bottom leg, the left leg. Bring your left hand down next to your left hip and release the head and the neck over to that side. Inhale, reach your right arm up and over into a side bend. And exhale, soften your right hip down towards the ground. Release your neck. As you breathe in, feel the space that you're creating all of the way down the right side of your body. And as you breathe out, allow the forehead and the jaw to soften. Coming into a chest opener, draw that right hand in line with your shoulder and then start to draw it back so it's like it's going out behind you. As you inhale, breathe space all of the way up into the right side of the front of the chest. And breathe out and soften the neck a little bit more. Draw the right shoulder blade in towards the spine. And then coming into a neck release, hovering those right fingertips about 6 inches above the mat, reaching away with the right fingertips. And the head and the neck stay over towards the left. As you breathe in, start to notice any sensation down the right side of your neck. See if you can take the breath all the way up to the neck. And breathe out through your mouth. And know that whatever's there it's okay, it's welcome. Good. And then release the right hand down, support the head with the left hand, and bring the head up to center. Good. And then unravel your legs, maybe without holding on with the hands, and bring the soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana. And the hands come behind the body with the fingertips facing forwards. So my fingers are facing towards my hips. And then as I inhale, I lift my chest up. I exhale, squeezing the elbows in towards each other. So you're opening across the front of the chest, maybe getting a little bit of traction through your spine. And inhale and feel the ribs lift up away from the hips. Exhale, squeeze your bum and notice if that allows the knees to come a little bit wider. Good. And then switching over to the other side, the left knee comes on top in a knee pile. Maybe the right leg comes straight out underneath. Right hand comes out in line with the right hip. Release the head and the neck, and inhale, reach the left arm up and over. Exhale, soften the right ear to the right shoulder. Soften the left hip down towards the ground. And maybe you want to close your eyes here, just going inside and noticing how it feels. Coming into chest opener, drawing that left arm in line with the shoulder and drawing the left shoulder blade in towards the spine. Fill the left side of your chest, the upper left side of your chest, with your breath. And then exhale, soften the head and the neck. And then a neck release, releasing the left fingertips down. They're hovering above the ground. And you might want to experiment here with moving your head just gently forwards and backwards and finding the point that needs more of a stretch. Filling the left side of the neck with the breath. And exhale out of the mouth. Good. And then gently support the right side of your face with your hand, lift the head up. Bring the legs wide into a straddle. So the toes are facing up and the legs are straight out. Maybe you need to bend your knees, maybe you need to sit up on something to make it a little bit more accessible. And the hands come back behind the body again. Inhale and lift the chest up. Option to stay here, or if you feel ready for it, you can start to fold forwards over the legs. In between the legs, sorry. And tune back in with the feeling sense of the breath. Just noticing where you feel that breath. Taking the breath maybe all the way down to the hips. Good, and then gently coming back up, drawing the knees together and just giving yourself a little bit of a squeeze, maybe bringing the forehead down towards the knees. Breathing into that space in between the shoulder blades. And allowing the shoulders to come a little bit away from the ears. Good, and now we'll come down onto our back for some abs. And grab your block or your cushion so it's alongside of you, and then come and lay down on your back. Bring your knees up over your hips with the feet a little bit lower than the knees. And the toes are active, so you're spreading the toes. The arms rest down by the body. Take an inhale and spread the side of the ribs. And then exhale, push the low back down. And then start to send the right leg forwards and down towards the ground, keeping the low back pushed down into the mat. Draw the belly down. Inhale, draw the right knee up. Exhale, the left knee comes down towards, the left heel comes down towards the ground. Draw the low back down, draw the low belly down. Inhale, left knee comes up. Exhale, right heel comes down. Draw the low ribs in and the low belly down. Inhale, right knee comes up. Exhale, left heel comes down. Draw the low ribs down, low belly in. Good, one more of these. Inhale. Exhale, right heel strikes down towards the ground. Draw the low ribs in and low belly down. Good, inhale, draw the knee up. Hug the knees into the chest. Just move a little bit on the back of the body. Maybe side to side. Just kind of massage out and feel into the back. And then grab your block and place your block in between your inner thighs. And you can keep your knees bent if that is more accessible, or you can send the legs straight up towards the ceiling. Clasp the hands behind the back of the head and send the elbows straight up. Take an inhale and spread the sides of the ribs. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone, squeeze the block. Exhale, lift the elbows towards the knees and draw the low belly down. Inhale, come half the way down. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone, squeeze the block. Exhale, elbows towards the left knee, draw the low belly down. Inhale, come half the way down, hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone, squeeze the block. Exhale, elbows to the right knee, pull the low belly down. Inhale to center, hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone, squeeze the block. Exhale, elbows go straight up and pull the low belly down. Inhale, come half the way down, hold the breath. Push the low back down, curl the tailbone, squeeze the block. Exhale, elbows to the left knee, maybe lifting up your left shoulder blade and pull the belly down. And last one, inhale, come to center. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone, squeeze the block. Exhale, elbows towards the right knee, lifting up the right shoulder blade, pull the belly down. Inhale, release the head. Move the block out of the way, bring your hands onto your knees and take some circles with your knees around your hip joints. And notice if you have gone into any stories about how strong your abs need to be, or how strong your abs are or aren't. And just come back to the feeling sense of the breath in the body. Bring your feet down onto the mat. We'll take a bridge pose. Walk your feet slightly further away from your sitting bones than you would do normally for a bridge. And turn the palms up. Inhale, spread the sides of the ribs. And exhale, push through the feet and lift the hips up into the air. See if you can feel the breath filling the space in between the ribs and the hips. So it's like all that space that you've just shortened with your abs, you're now expanding with your breath. And then push down through the inner and the outer edge of your feet. And notice what that does to your legs. Maybe it doesn't do anything, maybe it does something. Just noticing and feeling the breath again. Take another inhale at the top. And then exhale, curl the upper, middle, and lower part of the back all the way down to the ground. Bring the hands onto the base of the thighs with the fingers facing towards the knees, and we'll just take a back release here, traction. Inhale, expand the sides of the ribs. Exhale, push the thigh muscles up towards the knees and push the low back down into the mat. At the end of your exhale, if you want to, you can draw the low belly in and up for Uddiyana, if you know what that is. Good, release the belly, hug the knees in towards the chest, and start to rock yourself forwards and backwards along the length of the spine. And eventually you'll come up into a seated position, and then come forward onto the hands and the knees, into tabletop. So the hands are under the shoulders, and the knees are under the hips. And take some little circles around your wrists, so you're stretching out the different parts of the wrist joint and the hands, transferring the weight into different parts of the wrist, and coming back the other way with the circles. Good. Come back to neutral. Take an inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, push through the mat round the spine, draw the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, come back into a neutral position with the spine, tuck the toes under. And exhale, hover the knees 2 inches off the mat. Drop the knees down, inhale, lift the belly. Drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine, draw the chin in. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, hover the knees 2 inches. One more like that. Inhale, drop the knees, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale to round. Inhale to center. And exhale, hover the knees, tuck the sitting bones down or squeeze your glutes a little bit. Good, drop the knees down and come back into a child's pose with the arms out in front of you. And find some way to rest your forehead. Maybe your forehead comes onto your hands. And fill the low part of the back with the breath and the low belly with the breath. So we're using our breath to really create space in parts of the body that sometimes don't get the breath sent to them. Good. Know that you can come here whenever you need to in your practice to rest if something doesn't serve you. Good. And then gently come up into a kneeling position and bring your elbows in alongside of your waist with the palms facing up. Take an inhale and expand the sides of the ribs. And then exhale, squeeze the elbows in, send the thumbs out wide. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, draw the fingertips together. Exhale, thumbs come wide, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Another 2 like that, inhale. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades back and down. One more. Good. Bring the hands back out in front of you and then draw the knees behind the hips. So you're like the top of a push-up, but your knees are down. Take an inhale and spread the space in between the shoulder blades. And exhale, bend the elbows in alongside of the waist, come half of the way down. Inhale, straighten the arms. You can come a tiny way down if half doesn't work. Exhale, come half the way down. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, come half the way down. And then come all the way down and bring your elbows underneath your shoulders for a Sphinx pose. Push the feet into the mat and lengthen the tailbone down or squeeze your glutes if your lower back is sensitive. And then start to get a sense of breathing and lengthening the heart forwards in between the arms. And the shoulders come back and down. So we're lifting our chest up. And close your eyes here and just take a breath or two. Coming into feeling. Good. And then thread your right arm underneath your left arm and roll onto the right side of your body. And we're just going to do a few glute exercises here. So you're going to raise the leg with the inhale and lower the leg with the exhale, or the opposite way round if that works better for you. Just take a few breaths, reaching away through the balls of your feet. Turning on the left outer glute muscles. Good. Come back to lay on your belly. Bring the forearms back down with the elbows under the shoulders. Take an inhale here. And exhale, draw the chin in towards the chest. Come up onto your knees or your toes for a version of a forearm plank. Breathe into that space in between the shoulder blades. Good, drop the hips back down. Thread the left arm underneath, roll onto the left side of your body. And same. Take an inhale, maybe this time you're gonna inhale where the legs are together and exhale, lift the right leg up, reaching away through the ball of that right foot. Roll back onto your belly. Bring the forearms back down again. Draw the chin into the chest, and on an exhale, come into a version of forearm plank, either knees down or knees up. And then really get a sense of pushing through your forearms. We're going to come into dolphin. So walk your feet towards your elbows and lift your hips up into the air. Pushing through the forearms. And you can do this with the knees down. It does just the same job. So you're wrapping your shoulders, drawing the elbows in towards each other. And then find the breath again, maybe noticing the breath in the space in between the shoulder blades. Good, everybody bring the knees down. And then thread the right arm underneath the left arm. Roll onto the outer edge of the right side of the face for a twist. Breathe into that space in between the shoulder blades. Just noticing again where your attention is, and can you bring it back to the sensation or back to the breath? Good, releasing the right forearm back down and threading the left arm underneath and taking a twist to the other side. So you're either on the forehead or on the left side of the face. Just using the breath to notice. Bring the left forearm down and push back into a downward facing dog. And in your downward facing dog, maybe you're moving your hips a little bit from side to side. Maybe you're releasing the back of the head, the back of the neck. And then everybody take a big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Another one like that. Good, walk your feet forwards to the top of the mat and come into a standing forward fold. Relax the head and the neck, bring the thumbs to the inner elbows. And get a sense of pushing through your feet so your legs stay strong, but allowing the upper body to soften completely down towards the ground. And find your breath here all the way down in the low back and the low belly. Release the arms, draw the low belly in, push through your feet and slowly come up to standing. And when you get there, take a couple of rolls of your shoulders. Maybe shake out a little bit. And then we'll take some sun salutations. So push through your feet, reach the arms up with an inhale. Exhale, fold forwards and draw the belly in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back to a plank position. Take another breath here. As you exhale, lower yourself down towards the ground. Bring the hands forward to the shoulders, push through the feet. Inhale into a cobra pose. And exhale, stay here, draw the shoulder blades down the back. Take another inhale and feel the breath coming all the way up to the collarbones. Exhale, bring the heart forwards and down, push back to downward facing dog. And see if you can get a sense here of lifting the sitting bones up and back. There's a long line from the fingertips all the way up to the sitting bones. Inhale, bend the knees, look forwards. Exhale, step or jump to the top of the mat, standing forward fold. Inhale, push through the feet, reach the arms up. Exhale, come back to heart center. Inhale, push through the feet, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards, belly draws in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to step or jump back, lowering yourself down with the same exhale. Inhale, draw the ribs forwards into your cobra. And exhale, push to downward facing dog. And just tune in with your hands here and see if you can get a sense of rooting down through the base of the thumb and the index finger, as well as the other fingers. So your hands are spread nice and wide, your fingers are spread wide. And then wrapping the shoulders so you're generating strength all the way down the sides of the back body. Inhale, bend the knees, look forwards. Exhale, step or jump, top of the mat, standing forward fold. Inhale, push through your feet, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then one with a lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards, belly in. Inhale, half lift. This time, exhale, step the left foot back and bring the left knee down. You might want to pad that left knee. Inhale, push through your feet, reach your arms up. Exhale, curl the pubic bone in towards the belly button and keep reaching up with your fingertips. We'll take a breath or two here. If you'd like to, you can tuck your back toes under and reach away through the back heel, but try and keep your hips low if you're doing that. So your hips don't really move from the knee being down to the knee being up. And then tune into the breath. Feel the breath in the sides of your ribs. Release the hands down and step back into a plank position. Take a breath there and lower yourself down towards the ground. Inhale, draw the ribs forwards into cobra. And exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, the left foot comes forwards in between the hands. The right knee comes down. Push through your feet and reach your arms up. And exhale, curl the pubic bone towards the belly button. Inhale, expand the sides of the ribs. Option, exhale to hover that back knee, keeping the hips really low. And are you squeezing your glutes? So if you can, getting a sense of kind of drawing the inner thighs towards each other, even though they're going in different directions, you're like scissoring them in. Switching on all the leg muscles. And then release the hands down at the top of the mat. Step the right foot forwards to meet the left. Standing forward fold. Push through your feet, reach your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center and close your eyes. Take another breath and expand the sides and the back of the ribs, just like we did at the start of the class. And exhale, draw the low ribs down, draw the low belly in. Turning on those feeling senses for what's going on the inside and noticing how it is that your body feels, maybe what it needs as we move forwards. And giving yourself permission to give your body what it needs in this moment. I give you permission. Bend your knees, use an inhale and come into a chair pose. And then exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Option to come up onto your tiptoes. And if you're sticking your butt out, just draw your tailbone down and draw your low ribs in a little bit. Take one more breath in. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to step or jump back, either come through a vinyasa or straight back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up into the air. And exhale, step your right foot forwards for a warrior one. Push through your feet to come up, back foot's at 45 degrees, and front knee is bent. Let the arms rest down by the sides for some shoulder shrugs. Inhale, lift the shoulders towards the ears, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and exhale, draw them down the back. Inhale, shoulders come up, squeeze them together, and exhale, draw them down the back. Inhale, shoulders up, and squeeze like you're really squeezing something and drawing it down. Good, bring your right elbow underneath your left elbow for eagle arms. And you might just want to hug the shoulders, or you can bring the forearms or the palms together. And then push through the outer edge of the back foot. That back leg is active. Inhale to fill the space in between the shoulder blades. And exhale to relax the back of the head and the back of the neck, maybe letting it rest on your arms. The elbows are drawing forwards and squeezing together. Release the arms. And then turn to face the long edge of the mat and we'll come into a goddess pose. Bend your knees. Bring the knees in line with the second toe. Push through the outer edge of the feet. Take an inhale and reach the arms up into the air. And exhale, cactus the arms, open the chest. Inhale, push through your feet, reach the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms. And lion's breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale, sticking the tongue out as much as you want. Good. Straighten the legs. And then take warrior 1 to the other side. So turn the right foot in and bend the left knee. Reach the arms up this time. And push through the outer edge of that back foot and bend the front knee. Tune back into your breath. And notice if you can feel the inhale expanding the sides of the ribs. And feel the exhale drawing the low ribs down. So you've got this real sense of integrity in the low body and the pelvis. Stability. Bring the left elbow under the right for eagle arms. Maybe resting your forehead down towards the arms. And again, keeping that really strong, stable base in the legs. Sending the elbows forwards and squeezing them together. And then you're filling that space in between the shoulder blades with your breath. Good, release the arms down. And then we're going to spin all the way back to the front of the mat. Bring the hands down either side of your right foot. Step into a plank pose. An option to come straight into downward facing dog or through your vinyasa. Take an inhale and reach your right leg up into the air. Bend the right knee and open the right hip. Exhale, step the right foot forwards for warrior 2. Bring the arms out. As you inhale, spread the sides of the ribs. As you exhale, push through your feet and check your right knee is tracking forwards. And then turn the palms up. So there's like an extra opportunity here to lift the chest and breathe into the upper chest. Good, and then we'll take a next inhale to reverse the warrior, reaching the right arm up and over. And exhale, right forearm to right thigh, reach the left arm forward, so it's extended side angle pose. And see if you can find some joy here. So see if you can find a way that it feels really, really good to stretch the left side of your body. So not what it looks like on me, what it feels like for you. And notice if the breath died off and just bring your attention back to the breath. And from here, we're coming into half moon. So you're going to step your right hand forwards of your right foot, maybe on a block, and reach your left leg up into the air. Ideally in line with your left hip, and then the left arm reaches up into the sky, squeezing the left shoulder blade in towards the spine. And if you want a challenge, you can look up towards your left fingertips. And maybe that makes you fall over or somehow feel less than perfect, and that's okay too. Jesus, falling over. Bring your left leg back, and then we'll come into pigeon. Walk your left foot across towards the right hip and keep the right knee bent. You can do pigeon on your back if this isn't accessible. Bring the fingertips onto the ground and take an inhale and lift your chest up. And exhale, either stay here with the chest lifted or you can fold forwards over that front leg. And wherever you are, maybe you close your eyes to allow yourself to just tune in a little bit more to whatever's present for you in this stretch. And taking care to not approach pain, but just for working with sensation. With every exhale, allowing some softness and gentleness in that right hip. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Tuck the left toes under. And either come straight through a vinyasa or to downward facing dog. And in our downward facing dog, we'll take a horse breath. So breathing in through the nose and breathing out, shaking the head, shaking the lips. Take another one. Inhale, reach the left leg up into the air. Bend the left knee, open the left hip. Exhale, left foot comes forwards for warrior two. Bending the front knee, bringing the arms out. This time, bend the elbows for kite hawk. Push through your feet, and again, the legs are really stable. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades back and lift the chest up. Exhale, roll the shoulder blades forwards and draw the chin in towards the chest. Take a few more like this. And see if you can feel into the fluidity of the movement of your shoulder blades across the back. Maybe they don't feel fluid, so just feeling into what's there and allowing it to be as it is. Come back into warrior two, flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, left forearm to left thigh, reaching the right arm up over the head. And again, noticing, where do I feel this stretch? Am I still engaged in my legs? So to get engagement in your legs here, you might want to squeeze the feet as if you're squeezing them towards each other. And then allow that upper body to be a bit more free. Good. Half moon. Stepping the left foot forwards of the left hand forwards of the left foot. And then hovering the right leg in the air, reaching the right arm up. Allowing yourself to be with whatever's here. So maybe it's really hard to balance. And just be with that, it's okay. Balancing is probably not key in your life. Unless you're, I don't know, a slackliner or something. Good, drop the right foot back. Come into pigeon. Walk the left foot across. And shuffle that right leg back so you're really reaching away through that right heel. And you might want to put something underneath your left hip. Different sides are probably different. Take an inhale, lift the chest up. And exhale, option to stay here or to fold forwards. And softening your breath now. Taking your breath all of the way to meet the sensation wherever that is in your body. And with your exhales, maybe there's some softness there, some just a sense of releasing or letting go of trying so much to be a certain way. Bring the hands back under the shoulders. And then this time roll onto your left hip and come down onto the ground and bring the soles of the feet back together for Baddha Konasana. Then move your feet further away so you're in more like a diamond shape with your legs rather than the feet being close to the groin. And we'll take a forward fold. So bring the hands either onto the ankles or you can reach them further out in front of you. If you'd like to, you can also thread the hands underneath the shins to get a little bit more of a deeper stretch. And again, an invitation to close the eyes or lower the gaze and direct the attention inwards. Taking the breath all of the way down to the lower back. So with your inhales, fill your lower back with the breath. And with your exhales, let the sitting bones soften down on the ground. And gently roll back up. Draw the knees together and then bring the legs wide again into a straddle. And just noticing if it does feel any different to the start of the class. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. And bring the hands either behind the hips to keep the chest lifted and allow the back to have some traction, or bring the hands forwards and start to lower the chest down towards the ground. And again, an opportunity to just notice what's present. Maybe even noticing if you're attaching any stories to what's present. And we'll take up to 5 more breaths here. So really getting a sense of softening the breath, softening the body, starting to release that sense of holding on. Good, gently come out. Bring the hands under the knees, draw the knees together, and just like we did at the start, just give yourself a hug. Release the forehead down towards the knees. Soften the back of the neck. Good. And then bring your legs out on the mat And bring your arms out at shoulder height and then plug the shoulders into the sockets. Draw the low belly in. We'll come all the way down onto our backs. See if you can bring the lowest part of the back down first, then the midsection, and then the rest of the back, the upper back. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side. If you'd like a happy baby pose here, you can bring your hands onto your thighs or onto your feet. And see if you can take the breath all the way down to the sacrum, the lowest part of the back. Good. And then bring your knees together over your hips and bring your arms out into like a cactus position, a goalpost position. Take an inhale with the knees at the center. And exhale, drop the knees over towards the right side for a twist. And you might want to bring your right hand onto the left thigh to allow the left thigh to be drawn a little bit further over. Take the breath all the way down to the lowest part of the back here. And exhale, soften the left shoulder, soften the forehead. Inhale, draw the knees back up to center. And exhale, take them the other way. Where can you feel your breath? Maybe the breath's a bit softer now, but still see if you can notice it somewhere. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. And then exhale, bring your feet down. Either bring your feet as wide as the mat and let the knees drop in towards the middle. If your low back is sensitive, definitely do this. Or you can bring the soles of your feet together and let the knees drop out wide. Option to bring a hand over the belly and a hand over the heart. And then close the eyes. Take the breath all of the way down to meet the hand on the low belly. Or if the hand isn't there, just take the breath down into the low belly, down into the hips and the pelvis. Then exhale, soften your hips and soften your lower back. Taking the breath to the space around the heart, the front, the sides, and the back of the heart, really filling it up. And exhale out of your mouth. Allow the heart to soften down towards the ground. Take a moment to connect those two spaces, to connect the belly with the heart. Inhale and fill the belly, fill the heart, fill the hips with the breath. And exhale, soften the whole of the upper body and let it release down towards the ground. And from here, we'll take Shavasana. So taking any other movements that you need to take, or grabbing any socks or blankets, or it's a bit hot for a blanket, isn't it? Anything else that you need to rest with. And then finding a space to rest. So you might be on your back. If you prefer to do Shavasana lying on your belly, then lie on your belly or lie with your legs up the wall. And take a moment just to settle. Let the legs come wide with the toes dropping out towards the sides of the mat. And if you're on your back, tuck the tailbone under, so you're lengthening the low back, and then shuffle your shoulders away from your ears. And take an inhale into your head. So see if you can imagine the breath coming all the way up into your face, your head. And as you exhale, allow all of the face to soften. Allow the back of the head to soften. And taking these moments in stillness to really deeply rest and integrate. Maybe letting go of anything that you want to leave here this evening. And I'm going to share a few words from Rachel Brayton, and they speak to me about this idea of, I'll read them, then they'll either speak to you or they won't. So if they speak to you, let them sink in. If they don't, just let them wash over you. The goal of yoga. The yoga pose is not the goal. Becoming flexible is not the goal. Standing on your hands is not the goal. The goal is to create space where you were once stuck, to unveil the layers of protection you've built around your heart, to appreciate your body and become aware of the mind and the noise it creates, to make peace with who you are. The goal is to love, well, you. Come to your yoga mat to feel, not to accomplish. Shift your focus and your heart will grow. And whether that speaks to you or not, just settling again. With this attitude of surrendering to the ground and letting it take you. And start taking a deeper breath. Maybe wiggling your fingers, the toes, gently moving the head from side to side. Maybe taking a stretch. And then hug the knees in towards the chest and give yourself a squeeze. And then roll over to whichever side feels comfortable for you. And just pause there for a moment. Let the body sink again down into the ground. And gently bring yourself back up into a comfortable seat. Bring your hands together in front of your heart or over your heart, whatever feels more congruent for you. And lower the gaze, lengthen the back of the neck. Getting this sense of surrendering to the wisdom of your body. And breathing a couple of times in around the heart space. Breathing in this sense of being enough already as you are. However it is that you feel, whatever it is that you need. And we'll close the practice with the sound of one Om together. Deep breath in. Thank you for the privilege. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. It's lovely to have you all in class. Anyone has any questions or wants to say hello, then you're really welcome to stay behind. Otherwise, I will see many of you soon.
Thank you, Alice.
Welcome,
Alice.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.